The world clearly has something against me. What's up, guys? One Piece Junkie 13 here. It's time for a One Piece manga review, even though they said that the new chapter was not going to be out until next week. Fuck my life. Let's go. Alright, so it's One Piece chapter 610, The Fortune Teller Madame Shirley. And on the cover page, it has Vivi scrubbing the floor, and she's all sweaty and wet. This is for you pervs out there. And her shorts are really short. And it's like, it says, request, under the direction of the Siamese cats, Vivi sweats while cleaning the royal bath. Pen name, real name, Hattori Jean-Baptiste Akira. Translation note, this is one of the editors at Weekly Shonen Jump. Wow. Okay. So it starts out, we're in the Ryugu Kingdom, and they're at the Mermaid Cafe, where Sanji just got a blood transfusion. And then you see, like, they couldn't find a fisherman to give them blood because it's like against the law, and they could almost not find a human. And they almost thought he was a goner. And then he can't remember what he was doing or where he was, which is good because they say if he did remember, he would get another nosebleed and probably die. And then you see these people behind the curtain, and Usopp's like, these are your blood donors that we found at the pub. Sanji's like, don't tell me you got this blood from a lady. And you see two trannies, and it's like pirate twins, Splash and Splatter. And Sanji, he has that look like he had when he was on fire, but he's foaming at the mouth. And it's funny, you have to see it for yourself. Then Sanji's still screaming, and Usopp tells him to thank them. And then Luffy got poisoned by the octopus swordsman dude from the New Fishman Pirates, who blocked his jet pistol punch, which is a pretty impressive feat. And apparently Luffy's body made antidotes to this deadly poison because of when he fought Magellan. And that's about how he almost died. And then Usopp's like, that's nothing to laugh about, because Usopp's always the serious one. So Luffy's like, he blocked my attack, he's probably strong. And then it shows him carrying off the other two. So he's like, I accidentally poisoned Straw Hat. It'll be bad if he dies. And he's like, the mermaids are so noisy. This is actually a fish merman instead of a fish man, which I think is weird. But yeah. And then this mermaid named Ishley, she opened the barrel that had Koribu in it, and now he's gone, and those two girls who opened the barrel were gone, so something's probably going to happen with them because they're total retards. Then you see Madame Shirley, who is a shortened Mako fish mermaid. Or shark mermaid, my bad. So she's like a shark. She's got a shark tail. And she's hot. So Kimi tells her, don't go into that room where Sanji is or else he will die. And then Luffy and Usopp find the crystal ball and they start looking at it. And Madame Shirley is just like, don't touch that, because she used to read fortune, and everything she said was right. Like, everything. It's really weird. So she gave up fortune telling because the future's better left unknown. And then Luffy's like, so do mermaids poop? And then Usopp's like, why is a so in there? It's funny, but it's that. And then Madame Shirley's just like, what a vulgar child. And Kim was like, apologize. And Luffy's like, I'm sorry. She's like, okay, Kim, take off work, show your friends around the island. We'll have more mermaids at the later shift, so it'll be fine. And then Kim is like, oh no, I need to get these clams to Papagoo. And so Madame Shirley's like, he's in the cafe right now, And Kimmy's like, really? And she was like, he's talking about some old friend he met. And you probably guess it's one of the Straw Hats. But all the predictions that Madame Shirley's made were right about the start of the Great Age of Pirates, Whitebeard's war, Whitebeard dying, all that was right. Dead on. Chopper's still nursing Sanji. Then they get to the front of the cafe, which looks really beast. So they get to the cafe, and Luffy's like, do you have any meat? And Kimmy's like, well, mermaids don't really eat meat, so we eat shellfish. And Luffy's like, shellfishes aren't meat? Don't take meat so lightly. And then Usopp's like, let's just go inside. And then they get inside, and Luffy's like, I said don't take it lightly. And then we run into Brook, and it's like, yes, that's 5 down. See him? He's got 2 mermaids hanging on him, too, because he's such a player now, because he's so famous and rich. And you see Papagoo's on his arm. And then there's a joyful reunion. And the mermaids are, like, all over him. One of them's like, Soul King, make sure you make it make sure you come back again. The whole time you were here was like a dream come true. And then Brooke's like, I'll be back, beautiful mermaids. And then Usopp has this expression on his face like, what the and then Brooke was on this tirade, and he's like, and Usopp's like, he's gotten that wound up inside this little cafe. Luffy's like, what happened? Papa Goose says, come over to my place. We'll come back here later. I have meat. Do you like sea monster meat? Luffy's like, you have meat? And Papa Goose like, you think a wild guy like me could be content only eating seaweed? My main article of diet is the meat from violent sea beasts. And King was like, oh, a bunch of shellfish. He's like, clams. And Usopp's like, isn't that a shellfish? Of course, because he's Usopp and he's just like ridiculous. So they hail a taxi, and then you see a poster wanted for Vanderdecken, who's apparently sending letters. Who's the thief who's sending letters to the mermaid princess asking him to marry her. Then those letters sending in packages and then threatening marriage proposals. But he's dead, so this is his grandson, Vanderdecken the 11th. And everyone thought he was a real ghost or whatnot. But yeah, you see a lady who's got the split fins like Kokoro does, and then there's a fishman who has a merman child and a fishman child. So it's apparently when mermaids and fishmen or fishwomen breed, you can have either a mermaid, a merman, a fishman, or a fishwoman for a child. So they got a lot of variety. And there's a candy factory with a pirate symbol on it. And that pirate symbol is for Big Mama. That's right, after Whitebeard died, Big Mama took over the protection of Fishman Island. And so she's got like a sweet tooth, so she requires a large amount of sweet candy every month for the factory. But I mean, at least they're still being protected, because if they weren't protected by a super strong pirate, like their way of life on the island would just collapse. And then Luffy talks about how, oh wow, it's another one of the 4 emperors, just like Shanks. I wonder if I'll meet her someday. And I'll wait for this page to load. There it is. You see Papa Goose's house, which is a big house. It's like you can't miss that thing. It's like right in the front. It's huge. And he's just a little starfish, but then you see this place called Coral Hill, and Madame Shirley's freaking out. She's like, get the Straw Hat Boy out of here. Because she had this vision. She looked at the crystal ball. Because she felt something from him, but so she looked into it, and she didn't like what she saw. And you see a picture of Luffy on a background of flames. And then she was all like, I want to be wrong. I hope I'm incorrect. But she was like, Fishman, this is like by a human wearing a straw hat, by Straw Hat Luffy. By his hands, Fishman Island will be destroyed. What do I think of this chapter? It was good. It was great. It sets up the background for what's about to happen, which is probably a big throwdown on Fishman Island. Sets it up really, really well. I'm impressed. Surprised and impressed. Because I didn't expect this to be out until next week, so this caught me off guard, and I'm a little pissed off about that. But otherwise, it was great. It was a good chapter, good content. There wasn't a lot of action, but it was good detail to set up for the background. So, yep, that's it. That's all for my review. I'll see you guys, I'll probably see you guys early next week, like Monday, for my One Piece episode review. And then I'll see you around this time next week, Thursday or Friday, for a One Piece manga chapter review. God, this is going to take forever. But, alright. See you later, guys.